Good evening and welcome to Have I News for You, or if you're watching this on widescreen television, hi. In the news this week, outside a Tesco's in Kent, an innocent customer falls victim to an aggressive new Frosties promotion. At the Welsh National Theme Park, there are still no takers for the brand new White Knuckle ride. And in the audience at Channel 4 Studios, nervous contestants line up for a brand new series of Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. On Ian Hislop's team, an actor who's just written a book called Who on Earth is Tom Baker? Bet you can't guess who it is. Tom Baker. And with Paul Merton tonight, a woman who has said that TV presenting is stupid and pointless, so we're going to get on famously, Muriel Gray. Round one will come as no surprise to anyone, unless, of course, it includes a right answer. Ian and Tom, happy holidays.
Pinochet. It's Jack Straw.
Yes.
Oh, there he is, presenting a sword to someone and saying, stick that in your guts. Well, that was Pinochet.
Yes.
And there's been a big judgment this week, is that the case goes on.
How long might he be here for?
Forever. Ever. Well, not ever. I mean, he's knocking on a bit now, isn't he?
He might be immortal.
But,
He might be a Time Lord. They're not going to send him back. We're going to send him to Spain.
And how many years in prison does he stand to be sentenced to if he goes to Spain?
50.
50?
50 years he'd probably get, yeah.
I thought the fine for genocide nowadays was about 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Well, that doesn't sound too much, because I was reading the Bible this morning, because I live in the country and I was out of work this morning. And I was actually shocked to discover by chapter 7 that God actually committed genocide. I mean, apart from his pal Noah. He actually wiped out the whole human race.
Mm.
And they haven't closed him down.
Yeah, but he created them, you know, it's his job. You know, I create, I destroy, you know.
Yeah, trust Muriel to defend God. She's got a real feel for the underdog.
You were a monk, though. So you've got it in for God.
I have, yes, well, he had it in for me.
You must have liked him once, though.
I adored him. I had a great thing with God. Well, we shacked up together for years.
Do you mean by that you were a monk? Or?
I was, yes. That chastity really got to me, because it actually gave me a stoop.
Yeah. And it makes the muscles in your right arm stronger. It does.
It is General Pinochet's extradition proceedings.
Was that the question?
Yeah. Soon after arriving at his new house on the Wentworth estate in Surrey, General Pinochet is believed to have applied for membership of the local golf club, only to be turned down because of his liberal views. Paul and Muriel, your mission?
Shuttle.
Yeah, shuttle, definitely.
Space station, the one they're building. I think it's to do with underpants.
Underpants, yes.
Yeah, there was something about the space shuttle. All these people, you know, great technicians that they are, apparently they have to be in the same underwear for several weeks, and it's causing problems. That's it. Am I close?
The space bit was correct.
The space bit is close. But, it's not much of a space station. It's like space stations also have people in lurex and kind of bars with aliens in them. I mean, well, you know that. And it's plainly not. The whole thing's plainly a hoax.
I agree with her. I actually don't believe a word about space. I don't believe anyone's up there at all.
They never went to the moon. They went to a warehouse in Lewisham.
Well, that's right.
I know a bloke who saw them going in.
So, I mean, it just never happened.
But Doctor Who was real. That was real. No, it was. It was. it was real.
It's actually a US module that's been docking with a power station from Russia.
Is that allowed?
I don't believe so, no.
How long have they been seeing each other?
There's also a British space project. Are you aware of this?
That went up on Guy Fawkes night. It was in my garden, just in a bottle.
No, only this year a rocket-fueled projectile was launched from Dartmoor.
That's right, went up about 500 feet and came back again.
Well, we can have a look at it now.
Yeah, that's 200, 300, 400, 500, and there we go.
called Star Chaser 3, apparently. Obviously, Star Chaser 1 and 2 weren't quite as successful. and the next one, which he's already building, any idea what he's going to call it?
Star Chaser 4.
No, Star Chaser 3A.
I thought Bush Chaser 1 would have been better.
Yes.
Rabbit Scarer 6.
Also this week, NASA received photographs from Mars revealing the precise location of the planet's ice cap. According to The Guardian, the small ice cap sits in a depression at the North Pole, much like Ranulph Fiennes. Which flights of fancy mean that at the end of this initial burst, Paul and Muriel look like burning up, trailing as they are 2-1. This is the odd one out round, and you're welcome to it. Paul, your legendary beauties are Clark Gable,
Yes.
Cerberus,
Yes.
a Mayfly,
Yes.
and Tony Blair.
Well, whoever owns that dog, I mean, you know, you've got to feed it 3 times a day, haven't you? Look at it. Has he just got one arse? I think 3 heads, 1 arse, that's going to create a build-up, isn't it?
According to Greek legend, it only has one arse, yes.
Really? Well, can we trust the Greeks on this?
I wouldn't trust a Greek anywhere near a dog's arse, no. This is Cerberus.
Does he bark in unison, or is it like the Beverly Sisters? Is it like that?
I've never met him, I don't know. He guards the entrance to Hades.
Yes.
Well, why would anybody want to go into Hades? Why do you have to guard the entrance? It's a terrible place. Oh, you know, hell's a terrible place. I've got to go in there. It's a 3-headed dog. I won't bother. What's the point? If he was guarding the entrance to Waitrose, I understand. That's a supermarket goods. Nobody wants to break into Hades. Why would he be guarding the entrance?
Well, the entrance, there's the worst bit of Hades, and then there's the Fields of the Blessed, which is quite a good place to go.
Yeah, there are 7 levels of hell.
Are there?
Yeah. The lowest one is called Malabolge. Yes.
Who's in there?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm terribly pleased about that. I've been wanting to say that for 60 years, yes.
Glad we gave you the opportunity.
I don't know what it is, but when I see the shot of Ian and Tom sitting together, Ian looks about 12.
I keep getting letters from people saying I'm in an advert for BBC Children's Television.
Is the odd one out Clark Gable?
Oh, the odd one out, yes, I'd almost forgotten. No, it isn't.
What about the deodorant thing? Is that a clue? The fact, you know? Well, look, he's got a great big wet patch. He's just ignoring it.
You'd have more than sweaty armpits if that dog came running the morning.
It's not a million miles away from the answer.
Oh, the deodorant, right.
It's something that's about something that Zoe Ball said about Tony Blair.
Oh, now, is it something to do with vests?
What am I going to say next, Paul?
No.
Is something to do with vests? No? Nothing to do with vests?
In what way?
Bad breath.
Did you enjoy that moment of glory? Was it like being in showbiz for a moment?
It concerns a certain feature of the Mayfly.
The Mayfly only lives 24 hours.
Yes, that's one of the interesting features.
Is it the other one that the question concerns?
Yes.
I thought it would be, because you had that smug look on your face.
But it does. But well done for saying that it lives
breath,
for 24 hours.
Service had very bad
Very
breath,
bad
yeah,
breath.
yeah.
And did Clark Gable not have bad breath as well?
Yeah.
So Tony Blair's got
So
another
they've all been
one,
accused of having bad breath, except Cerberus, who had charming breath.
3 dog heads. He's allowed to have dog breath 3 times over, isn't he? So given that, who would be the odd one out, do we think?
The dog.
The Mayfly.
Who cares?
Tony.
I'm 6-1 up with one programme to go. Who cares? I know. It's toffee apple. I can say what I like.
It is, in fact, the Mayfly.
Really? Why?
Because it has no mouth.
And you think Blair has bad breath?
According to Zoe Ball,
Right.
yes. Weren't you worried about body odour at one stage? Your
Me?
own? Yes, you asked Body Shop, it was, I think, to
Well, I went into the body shop, also terribly humorless, and said, this boring girl. I said, look, I'm very tired. I've tried Pear's soap and I've tried carbolic soap. I'd really like to smell of new bread. Do you do new bread? She said, no, sir, we don't do new bread. I said, well, you can synthesize anything. Well, what about fresh coffee? No, we don't do fresh coffee. Oh, Christ, love. I said, look, I live in the country. Have you got something? I'd like to smell like a bonfire. For sentimental reasons, I used to go out with a girl who smelled like a bonfire.
She was a witch, was she?
She may have been a witch, but of course she was a goer.
Yes, anyway, in addition to foul breath, Tony Blair has a genetic abnormality, a simian line on each hand, according to one palm reading expert. This indicates that Blair is zealous, obsessive, and has tremendous willpower. Even Baroness Thatcher lacked this mark. Well, she might have had it, just couldn't tell through the hair on her palms. Muriel, your cool cats are Malcolm X, Zorro, Scary Spice, and the Queen.
Right. Now, I think this has to do with names, signatures, actually, because Zorro would do a kind of Z thing with the sword, and Malcolm X would just do an X. And what does the Queen sound? It's like E?
Just E, yeah.
But the Scary Spice just has a kind of paw print, doesn't she?
Has she got a stud in her tongue?
No, she's just been eating these small Christmas balls you get on Christmas cake. Oh. So I think she's the odd one. I think the rest just are so kind of famous or vain. They just need a mark rather than a signature.
It's not the right answer.
Oh, no!
They have a first name and a letter. Malcolm X, Mel B, Elizabeth R, but Zorro's the odd one out because he's just Z.
Is the right answer.
Oh.
The star of The Mask of Zorro, Antonio Banderas, admitted recently that when making his first film in English, I didn't speak the language at all. Yes, no, woman, man, they were all the words I knew. And that's 3 up on Sylvester Stallone. When Spike Lee's film Malcolm X was released in America, audiences were somewhat perplexed as to how they'd missed the previous 9 films in the Malcolm series. Ian, Vanessa Feltz, Penny Black, Jeffrey Robinson, and Mur.
Are they all extremely overvalued? Vanessa Feltz is paid £2 million or 3 million or 10 million or something to be on television in the mornings. Jeffrey Robinson is the Paymaster General.
Is that how you pronounce his name? Jeffrey Robinson?
I've no idea. Jeffrey Robinson, like the jam.
Right.
Or like the bloke with the big offshore tax fund.
The jam's Robertson.
Is it Robertson? Oh, I'm terribly confused now.
The marmalade's definitely Robertson.
Really?
Enormous, yeah.
Right.
Because they used to have, it used to say, Robertson's thick, chunky marmalade, and there was a penny black stuck over the top.
Is that right?
I'm not certain the way you looked at me there. Suddenly I lost my confidence.
Yes. Jeffrey Robinson.
He's the Paymaster General. He's in trouble for... He had a lot of business affairs with a bloke called Robert Maxwell, which doesn't go down very well.
Well, Vanessa Feltz was offered either frankincense or myrrh, and she went for gold. Do you know the Vanessa Feltz I mean?
I know the one...
This one.
No, that's Jeffrey Robinson. No, Vanessa Feltz is that immense woman who, you know, she does that kind of amazing thing. She walks across the room and everyone shrieks and applauds. And you can hear her thighs going...
They're all incredibly valuable, apart from myrrh.
You're in the right area, although the precise clue is actually in the picture.
Oh, well, they're all Jews. That's it, yeah. Vanessa, the Postmaster General, and the 3 kings.
They were all Jewish, were they, from the East?
Absolutely, yeah. Eastern Jews, yeah. And certainly...
And Queen Victoria, Jewish.
Absolutely,
Yes.
but not many people know that.
No, it's very, very...
Prince Albert, when he found out she was... Well, that's what killed him. Look, I don't want to go into that.
OK. We won't push you on that one. The part of the picture I was referring to was actually the gold in the corner, gold and frankincense there. The answer is that they're all worth more than their weight in gold, with the exception of myrrh. Vanessa Feltz quit Anglia TV earlier this year because, according to London's Evening Standard, Anglia chiefs demanded an exclusivity clause to stop her appearing on any other channel. Nice of them to try for us. And finally in this round, Tom... Jack Straw, Alistair Campbell, Martin Neary and Aled Jones.
It's something to do with music, I think. These fellas were all choir boys. I know what's happening is Alistair Campbell is the odd man out because although they were all choir boys, he's the one whose voice hasn't broken. Yeah. Have you noticed that?
You are extraordinarily close, actually.
Jack Straw was never a chorister, he's the odd one out.
Is the wrong answer. He was a chorister as well. in his
Alistair
youth.
Campbell's the odd one out, he was never a chorister.
Aled was never a choir boy.
Well, Tom had already got Alistair Campbell's the odd one out, but why?
Because he's never been a chorister.
He was actually a busker in France. And Aled's new career, do we know anything
He's a
about
rock
that?
star.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's about to release a new album of Celine Dion-style ballads.
Yeah.
Is he really? Well, I really must watch this show more often.
Yes.
But this is the end, it's too late, isn't it?
You can watch the compilation show next week. So
Go back 6 months, watch the first series, then come back again, you'll be right.
Yes, you could do that.
That's why I said it.
Yeah. Who is Alad's most famous fan?
His mother.
Even more famous than that, the Queen, apparently.
She's notorious. She adores her Alids.
Yeah.
So she's a bit of a groupie, then.
Is she really?
You claim to have been victim of a number of groupies in the past.
Yes, I have, yeah. People who watch the Antique Roadshow, those old bags who take along these terrible old treasures and are absolutely trembling with cupidity. And all they want to know is it worth 350,000 quid? And then you've got all these sadists from Sotheby's and Christie's. And they love manipulating these greedy old bags, don't they? They say, yeah, they ask them questions. They finally say, yes, I think that's worth, £10. Well, those lecherous old bags that I often meet in Waitrose try to pull me.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
What, across the counter?
And when I say, are you pulling me, they say, well, yes, I suppose I am. And then I pretend that I get all, of a quiver, I pretend to be frightened. They say, I'll be very gentle. Anyway, they find me irresistible.
I think the word I'm looking for is anyway. Former chorister Aled Jones spoke recently about his hit record Walking in the Air. In a shop, I know instantly when it's about to play because I hear those bells and I think, righto, I'm off. Inside knowledge that keeps him just ahead of the rush. Which unpleasant noises mean at the end of this racket, Ian and Tom are scaling new heights, leading as they do 7-2. Round 3 celebrates the fact that 14 days from now it'll be Christmas, and even better, 15 days from now it'll be over. So let's anticipate the unbridled joy of Christmas lunch as we invite our panellists to determine their own questions about the lesser-known stories of the year by pulling a Christmas cracker. So, Paul and Muriel, your crackers. If you just choose one. Will you pull it?
Right.
Okay. And the clue to your question will be...
It's a pack of playing cards. How lovely. And some funny hats.
All right, well, do feel free to put them on, obviously.
Here, trivia. What is the most commonly used word in the English language?
What?
The. Imagine the family gathered around on Christmas Day. Oh, it's a joke on the other side. Do you hear about the octopus that went into battle? He was well armed. They haven't got arms anyway, they're not arms, they're tentacles. It's a rubbish cracker. Look, that's not a hat, is it? Look, yeah, that's not a hat. This is a bloody hat. I'll show you a hat. Look, that's a hat. And that's the last time I'm ever doing it. Except for money.
Yes. I wish. This is an incomprehensible film footage question.
Oh,
so
good.
basically
It'll go well
you
with the
have to watch it and tell us what is happening.
Right, there's three people talking. There's a box, there's some dice, there's some playing cards, as indicated there. I don't know who these people are. Who are they? Give us a clue.
It is to decide something.
House of Lords, whether it should be abolished or not, is them deciding?
No.
Is it
No,
determined whether somebody goes to the electric chair in Alabama?
It's certainly nearer the mark, yes.
Colorado?
It is, in fact, the election for mayor of Estancia, which is a small town in New Mexico, which, due to a dead heat, was decided by a game of poker. And how is it decided if there's a heat in an election over here? Any idea?
Coin.
Heat.
No, you vote again with the dead heat.
No, it's a coin. You were right the first time.
Really?
You toss a coin, yeah.
Fair enough. Doesn't matter much who gets in nowadays, does it? Conservative, Labour, Lib Lab, Con Lab,
Space
Lab
Lab.
blah, 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 blah.
Tom,
Anyone want a game of cards?
weren't you mistaken for a Liberal politician once? Shirley Williams?
I was. To cut a long story short, I was going into a recording studio and a man said, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes." I was feeling very benevolent.
Evidently.
He said, "I'll never forgive you for what you did to our grammar schools." And I said, "What?" He said, "I'll never forgive you, and neither will my wife, for what you did to our grammar schools." And suddenly all my benevolence evaporated. I said, "What are you talking about, you daft bugger?" He stood back. He said, "I'm so sorry. I thought for a moment you were Shirley Williams." He did, yeah.
So, Ian and Tom, your chance to pull.
All right.
Help yourself.
To pull.
Yes.
Not in the supermarket old lady. Use of the word. Lovely. Bang. There's a hamster.
Good.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Was there nothing else in it?
I think there's your hat and possibly joke over there. Which...
Yes, we've laid them to one side.
So here is the question. You have to take a look at this and explain what it's all about.
Hamster, very, very bored. So bored it goes to the gym. Pretty boring. And joins the fire brigade. Sam the Fireman Hamster, new set of children's books out this Christmas. I'll be buying them.
Is there a story about the hamster that set the house on fire by gnawing through some wires?
It is almost that answer. That's another story that was in the news as well.
No, I think it's the one actually that did cause the fire, then escaped from the cage. And they couldn't work it out. The tragic, this only came out at the inquest afterwards, that the fire engine ran over the hamster on the way out, yeah.
Right. This is Cassie the hamster in Newcastle under Lyme, who ran so fast round her wheel that she set fire to her bedding. As the fire raged, the hamster managed to escape next door, thinking, "Thank God I'm safe, that nice Mr. Gear will look after me now." Which dismal attempt at festive cheer heralds the end of this piece of goodwill, with Ian and Tom looking joyful and triumphant, leading as they are 7-3. And so for our final round, featuring headlines which, like any Christmas jigsaw, have one crucial piece missing. Each and every one will be taken from this week's papers, except for those taken from this week's guest publication, the unashamedly seasonal Gut magazine, the International Journal for Gastroenterology and Hepatology.
Right.
So, to your marks for swallowing is what?
All right on the first date.
Overrated, yeah.
No, it's a precarious business, according to Gut. Next, take what to parties, young told?
Oh, old carrier bags with empty milk bottles. That's how you get into
No.
the party. What it is?
Aren't they advised to take condoms to party.
Oh, but that's not as useful.
A condom is,
well done.
is the right answer, yes. According to a survey by the Health Education Authority, 3/4 of young people drink heavily at Christmas.
They don't miss anything, do they?
Next, La Fontaine tries to what Brown in hotel bar?
Kiss.
He French kissed Brown.
I think the answer is handbag.
A handbag is the right answer.
Do you mean those finance guys have handbags?
Yeah. Hey, it's a European modern world, Tom. Grab bags. Yeah, the Italians have the small ones like that.
How does it go?
Just like that.
Mime skills.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He does a lot, Tom, he does.
Yeah.
I'll do a Dalek in a minute.
No, don't.
Yes, if you wouldn't.
give you
Next.
Well, you did a joke, that lovely joke about it in your magazine. Ah, you did. The one about, it was a Dalek who'd been on Viagra, and it was zooming around like that, screaming, fornicate, fornicate.
And finally, what may be bad for your health?
Dying.
Exercise.
Dying is the closest.
Not living.
Falling over.
Being ill.
Getting old.
Going to hospital.
Warfare is...
Yeah, see, there we are.
It may be bad for your
gosh.
health. More
That's
vital
very
research.
interesting, really. That's
Yes,
very back
this time from the Health and Safety
Yeah.
Executive.
They're good surveys, these,
Yes,
aren't they?
Yeah, apparently there's one coming out about the Pope being a Catholic.
Yes. And a bear doing
Bear
something
doing
in the
something
woods.
in the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is it true that the Pope shits in the woods? Is that
Which glitter and tinsel wraps up this show for the present, and the glory of it all is that this week's Ugly Sisters are Paul and Muriel with 6, while this week's Prince Charmings are Ian and Tom with 10. But before we bid them a fond good riddance, the cheery prospect of our caption competition. So, what do you make of this?
well, I think the clues and the guards at the back. As usual, the Kenneth Williams Appreciation Society provides the guard of honour. Particularly the two at either end. So I don't like that. I think we should have another caption. Give us another caption. We don't want that one. We don't want that. Yeah, you didn't know that was happening, did you? General Pinochet's right-hand man arrested at last.
New chapter opens of Hell's Chartered Accountants.
This is a Christmas surprise, everyone.
How do you like your blue-eyed boy, Mr. Death?
Angus takes his stabilisers off. Historic moment.
Your toupee will be here in a moment, Mr. Deaton.
On which unexpected note, we say thank you to our panellists, and I leave you with news that tragedy strikes as a rail passenger sticks his head out of a window and an express train fails to pass by. In Beijing, auditions begin for the Red Army's production of Jesus Christ Superstar. And in a secret government laboratory, the search for the charm gene continues. Good night.